Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of The Hard Truth. Thank you so much for watching. Hey, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and also become a member so that you can join in on this summer fun. Now, listen, the evidence is stacking up against law enforcement involvement. All right? And so I hate to point fingers, but it is what it is. And Ann Taylor is on it like a hound dog. Things are about to jump off between here and July the 14th. So listen, we need to talk about this. Grab that coffee, nice cup of tea as we begin our story. Well, as we all expected, the state's performance is becoming embarrassing in this case. Okay, it seems like they're running out of steam. Okay, there was a big fight at the beginning, and now it's like they're grasping at straws to keep Ann Taylor back, to bag her back and try to hold on to what they've built here. Okay, Ann Taylor is requesting training information regarding the police, as she should, because like she said, the first thing they're going to say when they take the stand is, based on my training and experience, I've been here for 35 years doing stuff I don't have any business and I haven't been caught yet, right? So she's asking for these things, and she should. And guess what the state said back? Purely speculation. That's all she had to say. She didn't even stand up and make a speech. All she said was, that's purely speculation. And then guess what the judge said? Purely speculation, except she just listed several reasons why she wants information on these officers. We all want the information. And I submit that not only do we want information for Moscow PD, WSU police need to be investigated also. All right? These superheroes that ran into Brian's white Elantra 1 o'clock in the morning, when it's dark. In my video, White Elantra, guess who? I showed you this picture of three masked intruders um, months ago. And I told you that based on the traffic going in and out of that King and Queen Road area, that it seemed as someone dropped off the perpetrators, cased the area looking out for, possible interference, and then came back and picked the perpetrators up. All right, and I still feel that way. And it matches up with this 3 DNA find at the crime scene that they're trying to say all of a sudden is irrelevant because it was a party house. Well, it's very relevant because everything points to multiple perpetrators. Everything points to the crime happening well before 4 o'clock. And several things are starting to point to the possibility that the perpetrators were law enforcement, at least two of them. Okay, and I'll tell you why I say that a little later on. Okay, so let's get into our chat for today, shall we? The fact that the male profiles were found at the crime scene could have been waved away by the prosecution as the house being a party house, except for the fact that a glove was found with DNA in it on the outside of the property. That changed the game. All right. And also, gloves suggest premeditation, professionalism, hiding their identification. Okay. If this were done by students who are in the house all the time anyway, there would be no need to wear gloves because they know their DNA is all over the house. All right. So the glove tells us a lot about this case. It also suggests law enforcement. Now, let's also think about CODIS. All right. If none of the male DNA profiles were in CODIS, that means that those profiles belong to people that don't have a criminal record. And that also points to law enforcement. Okay. Now, let's think about the sheath. It was planted. That points to law enforcement. because objects don't fall and land up under two other different objects. If the sheaf fell, or if Maddie fell on the sheaf, or rolled over on it, or was placed on it, she would be on top of the sheaf. But for the sheaf to be under the comforter and up under Maddie, that changed the game. All right, so far we have the glove and the sheaf pointing to law enforcement, and also we have Papa Rogers. The first thing Papa Rogers told us was that the police had the knife sheath. That was his first post, and that was the purpose for the whole Papa Rogers account. Let us know that they had a knife sheath. All right. I just really feel like law enforcement had to be involved if the sheath was planted and it was announced on social media well before anything went down in December. I mean, how how else can we explain it? When you look at his other posts, he's dismissing the importance of the white car because that's what dropped everybody off. He said he feels like the white car is a red herring. Of course he would say that if the white car dropped them off. Okay, so Papa Rogers strengthens the argument that the perpetrators and Papa Rogers himself were law enforcement. Last but not least, we have Dylan's statement to police, which is clearly a false statement for several reasons, but that's another video. Okay, people can argue, well, Dylan was covering up for this person or that person or these people. Well, Dylan made that statement to police. And the reason she's covering for police is because her statement fits the police narrative. If she was covering for Quinn or somebody else, then her statement would fit their narrative and not necessarily the police. But the fact that her statement is exactly in line with this 4 to 425 foolishness lets us know right there that the purpose of the statement is to support the narrative of Moscow police. Dylan's statement covers for police and no one else. And Ann Taylor is already all over it like a hound dog. Okay, she's asking for the testimony of the witness being interviewed several times, multiple times by law enforcement. She's asking for all of that by July the 14th. Okay, so at least we get to enjoy 4th of July before all hell hits the fan, because that's exactly what's getting ready to happen. So we need to brace ourselves because it's getting ready to explode in July.